So now the trick is, with all this working, to make sure that whoever's left on the boat comes back for you.
Exactly.
That'd be pretty hard to explain if you came back without Daryl.
Nice thing in the Gulf is I could survive for days.
Oh yeah, because the water's not too bad. All right.
Third time's a charm.
He said he was fine for days.
And I've got it on camera too, Chris.
We're just going to enjoy Clearwater for a couple of days. I hear there's great restaurants.
He's out there somewhere.
He'll wash up in Tarpon Springs.
We're Chris and Sandra. We started America's Great Loop in July of 2023, but it all started in 2022 when we bought a boat we named Thataway. On a foggy May morning last year, we said goodbye to Port Dover and headed down Lake Erie through the Welland Canal and onto Lake Ontario. We had a summer of fun boat projects and explored Lake Ontario and the famous Canadian Heritage Canal System, the Trent Severn Waterway. We spent the spring of 2023 overhauling the galley of Thataway, and we took off in July, even though we had lots more to do. Join two not-so-young kids as we make our way around the 6,000-mile loop of North American waters.
We are crossing the Choctawhatchee Bay from Destin to Panama City, and we knew it was potentially going to be a little choppy out here this morning. And it was when we first started, and then it past the first bridge, it kind of calmed down, but it picked up again. And yes, you got it. I'm sitting on the floor of the boat, in the middle of the boat. This really helps when I'm starting to feel tossed around a little bit. It's just physics. If you're in the center of the boat, you minimize movement. Now that it's calmed down a little bit out there, like it looks a lot better. That I'm going to pull out the camera and let Chris talk about that passage from Destin to the waterway or whatever that connects this Choctawhatchee Bay to Panama City. Choctawhatchee Bay to Panama City. All right,
so Destin to Panama City.
Yeah, but this is Choctaw Bay that we just crossed.
Yeah, it's nice in here. I actually didn't think it was that bad this morning. I guess, being honest, I thought it was okay. The wave height in two sections was a bit higher, and I think that was where it was widest. And you can't see our flag, but I'm pointing to it. We've been pretty much on the beam to the wind, I think, the whole morning, and that just made it very rolling. So I guess I thought it was okay. I don't think Sandra has the same tolerance that I do. We did get a lot of spray up on the windows, and you can look at the side windows right now, and that's actually the salt that came out. And Sandra cleaned off the 3 front windows.
I actually went outside once it calmed down, and it was comfortable to go outside.
So I'm going to say good morning. So we're about to go back into the, I guess, the canal portion of the ICW, and I expect it'll be very calm. And then we'll see what it's like when we come out near Panama City.
A lot of abandoned boats in Florida, apparently.
Yeah, we've seen tons of them all over.
Yeah.
So we have been 2 nights using the heater, and a little bit today too because it was so cold. And it wasn't full when we started, for sure.
No, it was full. I filled it.
Oh, so we've done basically 2 and a bit 2 8 hours. No, hang on. When would we have started the heaters? Probably around 6. Yeah, so about 12 hours a night and a little bit today. And that's a 2-gallon tank. So we probably use, what, gallon and a half?
Yeah, not that much.
Yeah, so we figure we get a day's worth of heat from 2/3 of a gallon. We're ready to unlatch us. Okay. Yeah, still holding on, so it seems to have a little surge and then a little splutter. Okay. Right there? Okay, you can shut it off. So these are cats with the salty cats of Panama City. They're strays. After the Hurricane Michael, a woman started finding all the cats and taking them home. We're not sure if they were abandoned or what have you, but over the last couple of years she's managed to get 68 cats from here to all the condos, wherever that is, and they've been neutered or spayed. It's a non-profit organization, and the woman that came just to feed them was telling me a little about them. They're a little bit feral. They do have ones that they try to adopt and some that they can't adopt out, and they come up for food and water. And they were quite friendly with the woman who was just here, but as soon as she left and I stood here, they are not so trusting. Okay, so our daily morning assessment of the weather for the Gulf crossing. So there's this great You Make a Call resource on the AGLC website. So a little grocery run, very little one, and then back to the boat, and then we'll go get fuel and get to Bristol Harbour Marina. You all ready?
I'm all ready. Stupid idea. How we doing, Senator?
Bring the back in if you can a bit more. Hang on, I'm gonna.
That help?
I'm gonna
Do you have the nozzle in front of you?
Well, yes.
So why don't you try pumping?
I was coming back up. Okay. I guess I do it. And this is diesel. Yep. Okay, ready? I'll just turn it a bit. All right, going. Gallons down the bottom, 40 gallons. Does that make sense? It's making kind of gurgly noises. Oh, I thought you meant it was good that it was making gurgly noises. Okay, I gotta go to the other side. I got enough slack to move it to the other side. Should be good. Beach Drive Bridge. This is motor vessel Vataway requesting passage through the bridge from the bay into the harbor in about 5 minutes. Over.
Call me when you get there.
Copy that. Vataway out. Beach Drive Bridge. This is motor vessel Vataway just rounding the pier from the bay. Over.
Copy that.
I'm gonna see if I can get this stern on.
I know it's nothing new, but it's so good to see you. We do this every day, and I'm still so amazed by you. So hold me tight.
Can you remember anything? Oh, Lorraine would be so disappointed.
Yeah, it's pretty sad, really.
3 years of lessons. Hey, it's still on the road. No judging.
I can't believe you love me. I just feel so lucky.
Hey everyone, downtown Panama City. We brought the boat from the anchorage at St. Andrews Bay down to Bristol Harbor Marina, because I wanted to walk in downtown Panama City, and with my boot on it was a little harder from any other marina. So we had a little bit of, it was a tricky docking. We did okay, and we're set up for tonight. We had showers, laundry, getting clean, and then tomorrow we're off to Points East and a leisurely cruise to Carabel, where we're waiting for a window to cross the Gulf. So that's the deal right now, and it's a lovely warm evening, maybe 14-15 degrees right now. Got up to 19 or 20, so we're kind of happy.
It's a little chilly.
It's a little chilly right now, but a lot warmer than it has been. White City Public Dock. It's actually a no overnight docking one, but for the last 5 or 6 years it's not been enforced, which is fabulous. They love loopers here. The locals are very friendly. We left Panama City this morning and just kind of tootled our way here, and quite enjoying very still wind, still waters. We walked into White City. It's not very big, but that's okay. We had a little bit of a walk. So I haven't even attempted this in about 6 months, so I do know how to turn it on. Tap this once and then hold it.
Yep.
Same thing here.
Yep. The sticks down and towards you,
Down.
into the inside corners.
So here's the anchorage at Searcy Creek that we were thinking about going to, just around there. Tomorrow there's a small craft weather advisory in effect, and the wind and the waves get a little bit rocky, so we decided we'd try anchoring closer to Apalachicola and then get our slip there tomorrow morning. It's a beautiful day today though, a little windy. on the water. So thanks to Nebo users who dropped a warning on the Nebo map for this palm tree that's in between the markers. We were on the lookout for these as we're crossing, so it would have been terrible to hit that, although it was a little bit off to the edge now because the notifications for this were a couple of weeks ago, but still, it's really great information. Hey everyone, we're anchored here at Apalachicola on the Gulf Coast. One more little hop to get to Caribel before a Gulf crossing. Just to give you an idea that sometimes we depend on our weather apps quite a bit. Here in this little bay on Windy, it said it was supposed to be 0.2 of a meter wave height with 0.1 surge, and that was supposed to go up right now to 0.3 wave height of a meter. I'm still working Canadian units, and 0.2 surge with wind increasing to about 10 or 11 knots of continuous wind plus some gusting. There's no wind, maybe 4 knots. And there is so little wave, it's not funny. So the warning tomorrow starts at 1 instead of at noon, the small craft weather advisory, but we're going to beetle into a marina before it gets that bad. Christmas on Thataway. We looked everywhere for a tree this year, a tiny one with lights. There's one of ours left in London, Ontario, which we did not pack on the boat when we left there and wished we had. And despite looking everywhere, we couldn't find one, so I suggested to Chris we find something to stream, and he's put it up on the nav, the helm, the chart plotter, and put some music on. So we're just enjoying a quiet day on the boat and an evening that we'll just have our own little dinner, and no presents this year. It's been an exciting year so far, so that's enough for us. Hope you're having a good one. So Merry Christmas. We're at Scipio Creek Marina. We're the only ones here. And the rain just let up. It was a pretty big gale this morning. And can't really tell now. I wish I'd had my camera out earlier, but the creek was just churning up and throwing our boat around a bit. We are taking a slow morning. We're starting to clean up the boat. There might be a window to cross the Gulf tomorrow or the next day. And we have a friend who's offered to come on the boat to do the Gulf crossing. So we're coordinating with Daryl right now, daily, to figure out when that might be. And I'm really appreciative of that because if they decide to go across the Gulf, I'm definitely not going. If they go around the Big Bend, I probably still won't go, but I think they're leaning towards the overnight crossing if they can get a good window. But Christmas Day, pretty dreary here in Apalachicola. We wandered into town yesterday when things were still a bit open, had some coffee and met some people, had a late lunch. Everything's closed today. And we do have a bar on site here. It was quite active last night, and it's open again today at 4. But Chris is going to do some oil changes and all sorts of stuff. We've got birds that really like our bimini. I really hope they're not crapping on the solar panels. And there's a resident cat who tried to come on board, which we're discouraging because we haven't had indoor cats in a long time and I'm not sure if we're allergic to them. But it's a collared cat, so I think it's a marina cat. Christmas Day oil change. Why are we doing it today?
Are we doing what today?
Why are we doing the oil change on Christmas Day?
Because we might leave for the Gulf crossing tomorrow.
Or the next day?
What am I doing here?
So not just oil, Chris is going to do the fuel filters and a few other things down there. We have a 3-hour trip to Caribel before we do the crossing, where we can make sure that everything's tickety-boo after all the fluid changes. Boat's going up with the tide, and I have to get back on. This isn't as high as it got last night, but All right, back out in a minute. So this is the creek, high tide coming in, plus the wind blowing the water up. It's, again, hard to appreciate on film, but it's quite amazing to see. It's like another river down the middle. And we were anchored just over there a few nights ago. This is like in April when we put it back in the water. We had to...
Yeah, we're just trying to fill the filters.
Oh.
Do it again for 5 seconds. Yeah, go ahead.
That's 10. Sounds good. Chris just ran to the washroom. And I'm just going to watch this for about 10 minutes to make sure it's all good. And then we have to put everything back together again and look at the weather and call Daryl and find out what we think about our window across the Gulf. I have to say, we've done a lot of work on similar engines and forklifts. Our forklift engines, way older, way more beat up. This is like so nice, all in good shape, nice and clean. So it's kind of a treat to work on this engine. And again, I say to work on this engine in the most generous terms, it's really Chris working on it. Not even high tide here for another at least 2 hours, and the storm surge is bringing the water right up to the edge of the docks, and I can't get on the boat anymore. Chris had to give me a step stool.
So you can get on the boat.
I can't even get onto the boat by myself anymore. Chris had to give me a step stool. Oi, oi, oi. Water's almost up to dock level. And here's my stool. And here's my stool, because there is no way I'm getting my foot up there, so the stool helps. Now the wind's just taking the boat away. Let's see if I can pull it back. Okay. Just a few more minutes till high tide. And the docks are underwater. Probably by about 2 inches. In anticipation of the Gulf crossing, we are going through our new ditch bag. We had a kind of a half ditch bag when we left Ontario, but now that we're going into open water, ocean water, we ordered this. Wasn't inexpensive, but it came with an EPIRB and a handheld VHF radio, which is the minimum, and there's a whole bunch of other things. So we're trying to go through it now, because it looks like the Gulf crossing may happen in the next couple of days. So we want to be sure how everything works, because when you're in an emergency, the last thing you want to do is try to be reading directions about how things work. The kit came with a little first aid kit. I don't know, I think it's a bit chintzy. There's a bunch of band-aids, sterile gauze dressing pad, which if you're really that hurt, that you're going to need more than that. Antiseptic pads, which I've found practically useless because you're guarding against infection, and if you're going to be out that long, then there's something really wrong. Gloves, again, I wouldn't worry about infection if you're out there for a couple of days. Another butterfly bandage, non-aspirin. Not sure what that means. This is acetaminophen. There's a couple Tylenols in there. Little antibiotic cream, first aid burn cream. Medizin, whatever this is. not prevention of nausea. That maybe for one person. Another bandage, antibiotic cream. So not a stellar kit. So I may throw a few things in there because our boat first aid kit is much better than this. So we're going to put some flares in the ditch kit as well.
Can you see a date on these? I think these are all the expired flares.
Well, we're carrying around a whole bunch of expired ones because we haven't been able to get rid of them. What a difference a tide change makes. Just have to step over. Can I hand it to me? Right. So as packed as it's going to be. Hopefully we'll never need it.
This all feels pretty tight.
Okay, so do it
You're
again.
getting the flashing red?
I'm getting the flashing.
Okay,
And what
so
exactly are you doing? You're testing your...
I'm programming the MMSI number for the boat's VHF radio into this beacon so that if I fall overboard and my inflatable life vest is activated, it should activate this beacon and send a signal to the VHF with my exact position and as an alarm so that people will know something's wrong.
And if I understand it correctly, the radio will then turn around and generate I'm assuming, an AIS message on our
AIS, or it do a
give me a
nano...
second, on our N2K network. And we should be able to see it on our chart plotter.
Oh.
I'm assuming.
Yeah, I think, and that may depend on the integration. Like, I don't
Absolutely.
know. But that's, I think, the idea. Okay, so I'm going to hold down
This
the
is a
test
cool
button. And hold down the test button on here for like 15 seconds. It's flashing
Flashed
red.
a minute ago.
Yeah, I should have. I was a little premature in doing this step. Okay, let me start over. Okay. So it's going to flash red. Then a couple of quick flashes, I think. And then it should start flashing green.
There we go.
Okay. So now I'm going to hold it down here. And it says Program MMSI. Ready, go.
That's pretty cool.
So the flashing should be communicating with the optical sensor, and that little rubber piece should block out all the other light.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what programs the MMSI number into the beacon. And this normally takes several times.
So now the trick is, with all this working, to make sure that whoever's left on the boat comes back for you.
Exactly.
That'd be pretty
the
hard
nice
to
thing-
explain if you came back without Daryl.
Nice thing in the Gulf is I could survive for days.
Oh yeah, because the water's not too bad. All right.
Third time's a charm.
He said he was fine for days.
And I've got it on camera too, Chris.
We're just going to enjoy Clearwater for a couple of days. I hear there's great restaurants.
He's out there somewhere.
He'll wash up in Tarpon Springs.
Boat humor, huh?
Okay,
All done?
let's see.
What are you waiting for?
That's
Oh,
red. Now, it needs to flash green.
oh right out
Flashing
of...
green will tell us that it succeeded.
Do you have to do it again?
Yep. And I think I remember this.
All right. Sixth time.
Oh, look at that! Jackpot!
All right.
Success.
Good.
I'm going to have to turn down the brightness or put on our sunblock.
One of the two.
And
All right.
Sanders, of course,
Final
recorded
thoughts.
Okay, testing. Sound check. Sound check.
this. No,
No, I said left.
All
The
right.
other left.
Well, I should probably give you my goodbye hug.
Yes.
All right. Be safe, okay?
Yes. And
Be
I
safe,
will-
Daryl.
Thank you.
So much. Take care of each other out there.
Yes, we'll do.
Thanks for joining us this week as Thataway casts lines for the Gulf Crossing. Chris and Daryl filmed and recorded audio in the dark, so join us next week for that. Huge thanks to our friend and gold looper Daryl, who knew when we were visiting them in Georgia in December that I really had reservations about doing the Gulf Crossing. I've come to the realization on this trip that if I don't want to, I don't have to. And it's friends like Daryl who step up and help me out. Also, a huge thanks to Daryl's mother-in-law, the inimitable Beth Tumlin, who let us borrow her car, named the Flame, so I didn't have to try to figure out charging stations and stops for Daryl's car. You're the best, Beth. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.